What's going on, YouTubers, gamers, and hobbyists? Welcome to another Topical Tuesday. And I've decided to do this sat here at my painting desk today because I'm feeling pretty chilled, pretty relaxed. The sun is shining, and it has done for a couple of days now, which is nice. Birds are singing, all that sort of good stuff. And the topic I want to talk about this week, actually, it changed from one I'd originally planned, and the reason for that change is due to the nature of my getting into a certain war game of late called Flames of War. This chappy here. Now, my topic is about getting into what started you off in wargaming. Now, you all know how I started in wargaming. You know the story about me writing a book and so on and going into Games Workshop. You've all heard that one. But why did I come to Flames of War? Well, I've always liked Second World War anyway, as a means to wargame with. I don't know as much about it as I should do, and I'm ashamed to say that. It doesn't help that I never had a single history lesson when I was at school. We had many different other lessons. If I could go back in school into my school days, and there was an option for me to take history, I would do so now, because I'd love to learn about history, and yeah, it's fascinating. Anyway, that aside, why did I come to Flames of War when I've been into Warhammer for all this time? Well, I'm still into Warhammer. I still love Warhammer. I find it amazing, probably the best for me, like the ultimate war game. But having another war game has come about rather. Mainly, I suppose it was triggered by my financial situation, which, isn't as great as it has been in years gone by. And so that forced me to kind of look at other games. Like, I still want to do wargaming, I still want to build miniatures, I still want to paint miniatures. I'd still like to game. Excuse me. This is in 15mm. I've always been 15mm, how am I ever going to paint that? Well, I'm painting them at the moment like this on popsicle sticks that I got from years ago from an art shop. A whole bag of these, all different colours. I thought I'd use them to build something someday, but they're coming in very handy for this. So I'm painting 15mm at the moment. I've only got primer on at the moment. These are Americans. Yes, they're small. Yes, they are. They're tiny. The tanks and vehicles, though, they're so cute. I just love them. I love the scale. It's going to enable me to play this Second World War game in an affordable manner, which, those of you that know, I used to be into bolt action. I just couldn't afford it. Not as well as 40k, but this is doable. Now, true, I'm taking a bit of a step back from 40k right now, although I've got a few things to paint, which I'm going to do at some point. Well, with the new rules coming out and everything, I thought I'd take a step back this time around, because I just can't afford it. I don't have an endless pocket of finances to pour into it. But with the 15mm scale game, it can get me into another war game. So like a brand new box set, which I purchased, a brand new starter set, learning the rules of a new game, which is always, pretty exciting stuff. Enable me to play it at an affordable cost and store it. That was the other big thing about bolt action. I wanted to do this big D-Day board thing and that for bolt action, and I never got around to it because it It was going to be expensive, that much was clear to me, but I also didn't have the room for it. I could do things like that with this game because of the scale of the game. It's just nice and small. You know, your tanks are about yay big. It's just brilliant. I can role play on it recommends the 6x4 tables, but it also says you can play the smaller skirmish type as well on smaller areas, which is great. I mean, Bolt Action was primarily designed as a skirmish game, you know, period. And I know of gamers that wanted to go into that in 15mm, but as this, I know you can use any size miniatures for any game, you know, as long as you've got the miniatures right. But as Flames of War and all the stuff for it is 15mm, it just makes perfect sense for me to do that, and boy am I really enjoying it. It's absolutely fascinating. I'm learning stuff. I'm learning how to paint 15mm. I'm learning how to build 15mm. That's a bit of a learning curve in itself for me. I mean, you know, be very, very careful, my friends. If you're going to build in 15mm, don't drop things, because you will never find them. I have a spare fuel canister somewhere lying about on my floor, which probably has gone up the Hoover by now. Just so small. Once you lose it, you lose it. So be very, very careful. Make sure you take all precautions for that. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm finding it great. And that's why I got into it. So my question to you guys is, what got you into wargaming? How did you get into wargaming? You know, let me know. It's a fascinating subject. Some of us got into it for, like, you know, when they was at school. Some of us, like myself, came to it later in life. What's your story? But that's mine. You know my original story. But this is why I've got into Flames of War, for the size and the literally the how cheap it is. It's just brilliant, good for me, and it also gets me learning a bit of stuff as well. So that's my story, but let me know yours. So that's it for this week. Thanks ever so much for watching. Remember, all brushes lead to war. I'll see you on another video or Topical Tuesday. Till then, bye for now. Bye bye.